In-N-Out Burgers, right? Like, it's the best burger place ever on the planet, and it's over on the West Coast. It's like, bring them over here. Well, it looks like the dream's coming true for some people who like In-N-Out Burgers because they're making their headquarters on the East Coast in Nashville.
Oh, the headquarters.
Of the East Coast in Nashville.
Okay.
So that looks like it's going to be district or home base or something like that. They're going to open up there. They got offices there. So In-N-Out Burgers could be making its way to you. And if you're like, drooling right now because you also believe that In-N-Out Burgers is the only burger joint that knows how to make a burger, well, then your dream's coming true.
Yeah, I've never had In-N-Out Burger, so I have no idea. But yeah, you're right, Rob, that if they're making a headquarters, a central office, well, there's of course, got to have branches. So they're going to be up and down the East Coast.
And leaves.
And leaves.
Roots and all that other stuff. It's amazing. They're going to grow hamburgers on trees now. So Scott is like, okay, what's the place that you want to see come back?
Crystal,
to move into this area, because there's somewhere, right?
Well, there used to be a lot of them, and they've slowly started closing and shrinking, I think, their footprint in our area.
Why Crystal Burger?
They're cheap, and I remember my buddies and I used to hang out there in college. It was just, they were open late, and it was just a cheap place to get some grub and hang out, and just brings back a lot of memories.
Scott just wants to relive his college days.
I think that's what it
Crystal
is.
Burger.
And I'm hungry.
Yeah, because you would order like what? How many Crystal Burgers could you eat?
Yeah, some. I knew people that could eat like a sack full of them, but
Well,
maybe
they're tiny, right?
Right.
4 or 5, without overdoing it.
See, I grew up with White Castle because my mom is from the north, from Ohio, and every time we went back to Ohio to visit family, we always had to go get, like you say, a sack full of White Castle. So I remember that.
Like clockwork, my grandmother would take me to a place called Burger Chef in Florida. Burger
Never
Chef.
heard of it.
I have.
Was it just local, or was it like...
Hey, I was a kid then.
Okay.
Everything was big time.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
I think hunger is in the air because we're hearing from people after the news have gotten out that In-N-Out Burgers is making its way to the East Coast. And people are like, oh, let me tell you what I want to see come back.
Yeah, and we're texting in. So Brian, he said, you got to bring back Quincy's.
That sounds familiar. Steakhouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like Ryan's, Quincy's, Western Sizzlin', that kind of thing.
So it's a buffet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then let's see. Michelle, In-N-Out comes here. Got to have the fries animal style. So that's one thing that you can do. Who else do we have? Let's see here.
Ray, see, was talking about Pizza Hut.
Yeah, Pizza Hut. The old school Pizza Hut because it has a buffet bar.
I remember the buffet bar there.
Yeah, so there you go.
I think I still look like the buffet bar.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
You gotta stop. No, I love these. I love all of these memories that are coming back because some of them I've forgotten about. Teresa said, Rob, you brought her a memory back.
What?
Burger Chef.
Oh, yeah. So it must have been a chain. My grandmother used to bring me there when I lived in Florida, and I was just a kid.
I don't know what that is.
It's a burger place, like a McDonald's or a Burger King, only Burger Chef.
I thought it was
it's a fast food joint.
I thought it was more like a clock situation, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I haven't eaten a clock yet. I only eat food. But thank you. Casey's here at 800-447-7234. What about you, Casey?
It's Fazoli's.
Fazoli's, yeah.
That was an Italian fast food place.
The breadsticks that they have.
That was an
You
Italian.
could get them for $1. You could get spaghetti for free. My aunt and my mom used to take us there every Sunday after church. My favorite childhood place to go to eat.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
On His Radio.
I love the place. Bring them back. We're hearing a lot of that this morning. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning.
Yeah, Scott texted and said, you gotta bring back Po Folks. Po Folks.
I remember Po Folks. I was a kid in Florida when Po Folks. Mel Tillis, right?
I think so, yeah.
Country singer back in the day, had a stutter, but when he sang, it was perfect.
Perfect.
Oh,
Angelic.
my word. Amazing. But Po Folks, that restaurant in Florida, I don't know about here. I would doubt it here. But in Florida, when they opened up and they were hiring their staff, they sent their staff to learn how to speak Southern. Seriously.
To use y'all?
to actually speak Southern talk and not sound like they're from, New York or
Right,
Michigan or
Michigan.
Ohio.
That makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of TV shows that could use that same training.
Yeah, right? Okay, an open mic just came in from the My HISRadio app.
I grew up on the West Coast, and in college, we used to drive 2.5 hours from Flagstaff to Phoenix just to get In-N-Out. So In-N-Out is amazing, and it is the best burger place ever. Try animal style when it comes to the East Coast.
We love his radio.
Oh, I love that. I love the end of your open mic. That's so cool.
Oh, that's cute.
Eat animal style.
What is
I don't
that?
know. Eat with your hands?
I don't know.
I'm not an In-N-Out burger guy. I've never been. I've never heard of what they sell outside of it's a burger joint.
It does sound like one of the Muppets, doesn't it? Just
Yeah.
just getting it.
And if you haven't heard, they're making their way to the East Coast and they're starting in Nashville. So
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
I love these shows like American Idol and America's Got Talent when they tell the story behind the person that is performing. One of those, and I don't watch America's Got Talent very much, so I'm not sure when this person was on the show, but her name is Victoria Bueno. She's a ballerina, and she was born without arms. And she said, I've never let it keep me down. I've never had it keep me back. I use my feet to eat with, to brush my teeth, to do all of these different, functions. And she said, I love dance. And so I decided at some point I was going to learn how to ballet dance. She's now a ballerina. She's been on America's Got Talent. She won. And then she's on like the America's Got Talent All-Stars. I mean, this story is incredible. Because you could just sit back and say, I can't do these things because I don't have arms or I don't have legs or I don't, whatever the case may be. And she said, nope, I'm going to do it.
well, when you take a look at dance, like being a ballerina, what's the official dance called?
Ballet?
Ballet.
Yeah.
So when you watch ballet, arms are a part of it.
Sure.
A whole movement and how beautiful it is. And you can't tell.
You cannot, and it even comes into play with balance.
Yes.
If you're on your tippy toes, and I took ballet when I was a little kid. So when you're up on those tippy toes, you honestly, I feel like I would need that balance with the arms. And she overcame that. She learned to balance with her core rather than her arms.
I'm trying to remember the artist's name. I want to say it's Fernando. It was back in the early 90s. He had no arms, but he played the guitar.
Wow.
Amazingly, so much so that he had an audience with the Pope.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that was so amazing. I'm thinking that's the late 80s, early 90s
Right.
when that happened.
Well, life can sometimes give you lemons, right? And it's what you do with them. And she definitely made lemonade.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
On his radio.
It's Rob and Liz.
Natalie gets this text from her dad, and it says, Natalie, I have kept a voicemail from you for over 2 years, and all it says is, Dad, I love you. He said, I listen to it 20 times a week. But this morning, I was listening to it and somebody beeped in. Somebody was calling him. He said, I accidentally deleted it.
Oh, no.
He said, I'm heartbroken. I need you to call me back on my phone and please leave me another, I just wanted to say I love you message.
No. Wow.
He listens to it 20 times a week.
Let me tell you,
20 times.
when the kids grow up and they're out of the house, you've done such a good job that they're so independent that, they're living life. And then sometimes you don't hear from them.
As
for
often,
a
or-
long amount of time.
Yeah, it
you
can
know?
be weeks or even months.
And it's tough. Let me tell you, when my two older ones left the house, I was crushed because childhood's done. They're no longer kids. You don't have that moment with them anymore, so you don't have that interaction. So when just those moments like that, I get this guy. I so get him.
Oh, absolutely. I have an email from my daddy that he wrote to me and said, I love you at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's been gone quite a few years now. I will never get rid of that. Ever.
Scott.
Yeah. I'm hearing this. I so relate. My daughter is a year and a half away from college. And I've got a
Fazoli's, yeah.
recording
An Italian
of her
Fazoli's,
when she was
yeah.
like
an Italian
5 or 6. saying something about his radio and coming to the station. So I recorded her, and I have those files saved, and I play them back every so often just to hear that little voice. But
Yeah, right.
she's growing up so fast. She's going to be in college soon, and I totally get that dad with the voicemail.
Dude, hang in there.
I can almost hear that emotion in your voice, Scott.
It's tough. It's coming quick. Yeah.
Yeah, quicker than you even realize. I know, like.
Hang on there, Scott. Got hanky.
I need a hug.
Yeah. No, but I'll give you a hanky.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
On his radio.
Here's this guy who tunes pianos for a living, watching the news, and then seeing this little 11-year-old play the piano, and then was just mesmerized by his story. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. And so he does pretty good tuning pianos, this guy. And he thought, this story about this 11-year-old, the way he plays the piano, his family's from Guam. They don't have a lot. He thought, I'm going to get this young man a piano. And he did. He bought one for $15,000, refurbished the thing, gave it to the family. The family's like, wait, what? You know what it's worth? $45,000.
And this kid, his name is Jude, never taken a piano lesson in his life, what you would call a child prodigy. He just sat down at a piano one day and boom, he was playing it. The local news covered it, and that's how this guy found out about him. And so now, not only did he buy him this super expensive piano, it's a grand piano. This is a huge thing. Probably have no room for anything else in the house, but he's getting him piano lessons as well.
And tune it for life.
Yeah. So they're going to have this connection for the rest of their lives because, yes, it is a random act of kindness, but wow.
Right?
Wow, I mean, that's big. That's a big investment.
And being blown away. I mean, the family's like, you didn't have to. And then when you learn how much this piano is worth, $45,000.
And they came to this country looking for an opportunity, and wow, they found it.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
On his radio.
Like many parents, this dad just had enough. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. I think his son has been out of the house, for a year or two, something like that. He's an older son, right?
Yeah, he lives in the house. Right?
Oh, he lives in the house.
He lives in the house.
Even so.
Yeah.
So his son is like addicted to this one game. 10, 14 hours, 15 hours a day. He's just sitting in front of the computer playing a game. He cannot get his son off this game. So he came up with a decent plan in his own mind. He thought this is logical. He hired other gamers. And here was their goal, these other gamers. Go after my son and eliminate his character.
From the game.
Get rid of it. Do what you need to do. Eliminate his character from the game.
So he can never play again. Little perspective on this. This kid is 23.
Yeah.
And he's in the house.
Didn't know he still lived at home.
Yeah. And doesn't have a job. And he was asked, why don't you have a job? He's like, yeah, I'm not actively looking for a job. I'm really waiting for the one that suits me.
And then has his controller in his hand. Choo, 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 choo.
I'm thinking you could go into a job with a gaming company. If you're looking for something to suit you, you could be a tester, a researcher.
I had one child, I won't tell you who it is, but I had one child who really believed this is going to be my career.
As much time as you're putting into it, I think it is your job.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Oh, this guy.
So the kid found out. He's like, wait, why are these people coming after me all of the time? And so he asked one of them, they said, well, your dad hired us to eliminate your character.
He hired them to take him out of the game. I can imagine this guy's like, why are 12 different other characters coming at me?
Just coming at me. Why?
What is happening?
What'd I do? This is not Survivor. Come on now. And so they had words, father and son, but they did reconcile, which is good.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, they're getting along. Maybe they had a good laugh out of it. But
I think it was intense conversation at first.
Maybe.
Dad!
Why'd you kill my character? But he still doesn't have a job. That's bad.
No lesson learned.
No.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
On his radio.
They just needed a place to be together. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning. We are his radio. And these are two senior dogs, Joey and Sophie. They've been together their entire life. until recently because the owner couldn't take care of them anymore.
Oh, it's so sad. And you know that just broke their heart that they couldn't have Joey and Sophie anymore. But sometimes you get to a point where you got to take care of yourself. And so she wanted to find the best home. The best thing about it is they wanted Joey and Sophie to stay together. They did not want them to be separated. How hard would that be for these puppies, these dogs, to have to go to a new home separately?
Right.
They don't know anything else.
So they went to the animal shelter. The animal shelter kept their promise. They worked hard. And just a couple of weeks ago, there was a couple that came forward and said, Joey and Sophie, here's your forever home.
Oh, it's so sweet.
I know,
And
very sweet.
I love in the shelter that they even kept them in the same area. I hate to say cage.
They were
but-
together.
Right. They were
Yeah.
together. They had their little beds right beside each
Right
other.
in their kennel.
Yeah, just like always.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's very sweet. That's hard because animals, pets become a part of your family.
they do.
And
they
it's
don't
crushing
understand.
at times when, we
Right.
just had a foster dog and it was crushing to us to, allow him to go to his new family.
Because he'd been with you a couple of months.
5 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, 5 weeks, not months.
Oh.
5 weeks. Wow. It's a lot longer than what I
A little
thought.
different.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
On his radio.
I go through, I order my hazelnut latte. I go to pay, and I'm like, he looks familiar. That's Ben Affleck.
At the drive-thru at Dunkin.
Now, this did not happen around here. It was in Connecticut. But he worked the drive-thru at Dunkin' Donuts, headset, hat, T-shirt, doing the thing. They said he looked a little confused from time to time. I get it. They got a lot on the menu. But they feel like he's not just doing a side hustle. He's not trying to drum up some extra cash. He may be doing a commercial or a TV show of some sort, or maybe it's part of a movie, and that's why he's working the...
So they don't know. I thought it was a commercial.
They don't know. So somebody said, I feel like it's a commercial because I saw this team, this film crew, and it didn't look like a movie crew. So there's a lot of different signs that are saying it's a commercial, but it's not been substantiated yet.
I wonder.
So I don't know. But there was also like a sighting of Jennifer Lopez, who is his wife now, and they were hanging out
At the
a
Dunkin'?
Dunkin'. Yeah. And he seems to like Dunkin'. Where he lives, I think he lives in L.A. primarily. So they've got his order on file. He goes so
Really?
much. But I'm like, my local Starbucks has my order too. So
Oh,
he
really?
just goes a lot.
They look at me when I walk in. They go, oh, yeah, that's just the coffee dude.
The
No
coffee,
frou-frou for
no.
him.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
On his radio.
Babies R Us.
Yeah.
Good news if you miss it because it went away in 2018, making a comeback just like Toys R Us. Now, they're going to start at American Dream, which is a big mall in Jersey. And it's going to be, they're pulling out all the stops for this comeback for
What are they
Baby
doing?
R Us. They've got the roller, the baby stroller test track inside this place that they're going to have.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Put the baby in
Yes.
there, test the strollers.
See how you like the way it rolls, how it holds the
Exactly.
baby.
I don't know if they'll have races, but it sounds like there's potential for a race
Oh, that sounds fun.
on the test track.
That sounds fun.
I hear test track. I'm thinking you're going really fast in that puppy, right? Bon Voyage photo op. They have a wishing tree, a baby registry lounge. A lounge. You sit back on the couches, you enjoy yourself with a pad, and you're typing away.
Oh, and you just load up your cart so
Yeah.
other people can get it for
A
the
whole
baby shower.
design center for a nursery, they say, inside Babies R Us, that making the comeback at this mall in Jersey.
Wow, they're
Yeah.
doing. Maybe they're thinking, okay, where did we go wrong the first time? And I thought it was great. It was a store. I didn't need a lounge. I mean, just to go
They got a lounge.
shopping for bottles and stuff.
And they're thinking about the mom who has the baby out in the mall. They'll have a comfort zone. So if you need to change or feed, you'll do it inside the comfort zone.
That's amazing. Then maybe they'll have some of the products that you can test out while you're there as well. And then
I
go
just
out in
want to go for
store.
the test track.
Rob, the strollers do not have motors.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
On his radio.
Let's check in with this open mic.
So what about the powered strollers? They've got motors. Aren't they supposed to like follow you around or something? I love hearing from you guys. Just a little thought.
So Liz was joking with me because now they have Babies R Us coming back at a mall in Jersey One of the features, along with a comfort zone, so that you could stop there and change the baby and feed it, is a stroller test track. And I'm thinking, oh, the need for speed.
You're
you could
like,
probably race on this thing. It sounds so cool.
No, see, I'm thinking they don't have strollers with engines, with motors that this Babies R Us. The stroller that has the engine is like $4,000.
That's a lot of money.
Right, and it's sort of it has a crock pot approach to it.
What do you mean?
Set it and forget it. And I don't like that when it comes
Yeah.
to a baby in a stroller.
Yeah, they don't get us wrong. They're not selling this at Babies R Us
no.
in Jersey,
No.
but someone came out with a stroller that actually has a motor that follows you around.
It does. Or like some have said, some people may just set it and forget it.
Yeah, don't want to do that.
Not good.